Hey guys, it's Kevin. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the ink tubes for EcoTanks. And we have printer repair shops at Greensboro, North Carolina.
Hey guys, it's Abby here. I don't know the backstory as to why this tube was cut, but I am here to help replace it and fix it for you. So if your printer has this long clear plastic piece covering the tubes, go ahead and unhook that from the tubes. That will give us a way to work with the tubes a lot better. Then we need to go ahead and take these 4 screws off of this black tab. You'll see it towards the front of the printer. That will give us more working space to when we need to put our hands inside the printer to pull the tube out. Once the screws are off, then you can go ahead and pull that tab right off, just off the top, that cover off. I decided to take this cover off of where you would refill the ink, just to give it an easier view. So here we can see that there are these white clips that are around the tubes every couple of inches or so, spread throughout. You need to go ahead and take the tubes out from there. So I just set those by the side because you will want to hold on to those when you put your tubes back into place. These help keep your tubes together, and so when your printer is trying to print and stuff, the tubes don't go flying and get entangled everywhere. So just unhook these and set those clips to the side. You'll want to use them again later. Then we're going to get to this bottom white piece. I realized that you would have to put your finger a little bit under there and push. And I'll show you here, it's going to be on that tab there. You're just going to push it and then push up. It flips up. And that releases the tubes right there at that contact point. So here you can see in a second I'm just going to be able to pull my magenta tube, which was broken. It seems as if they're almost like fused together a little bit, so here I am just kind of stripping it apart, which it's going to be okay because that's why I'm saying hold on to those white clips that I had pulled off, because that's what's going to hold them back together. So now here I am at the point where the tube hooks up to the ink. So be careful of that. It took a little bit of a pull. Just be careful, that ink might splatter in your face. I had that happen to me today, but that's okay. It's just a little fun. So here, you don't need to replace the whole cartridge either. So that was something that I realized as well, that you can see here I'm showing you as I'm just cleaning off some of the ink, but the tube, the cartridge isn't bad, it was just the tube was bad. So here I was replacing the tube. Instead of replacing the tube and cartridge from another printer, I just had to replace the tube, and so you can push that back in. And this is kind of one of my favorite parts of printing, of putting the printers back together, is kind of like making them fit back into the right spot. You can kind of see this waterfall black plastic piece that comes off of that frame. So kind of fitting those tubes back in there nicely will help guide you along. And that's where I'm getting my white plastic piece back. It took me a little bit to try to push them in, but if you see, in a second, I think I tried to turn the tubes upside down to maybe help me, or I maybe realized that I had it a little bit backwards or something. But when you turn it upside down, it was easier to kind of push them in to see it a little bit. And then I also realized that I was going to have to adjust throughout. I wasn't going to get it perfect on my first try, but it was just trying to line it up a little bit. So you'll see here that I'm going to move my clip just to get it situated. And I also even did it, see here, like my tube was way too long, so that's where I needed to pull that magenta tube back so it would fit nicely and appropriately, that it wasn't going to be too much of a too much of a give, I guess, as I can say. I can't think of the word that I'm trying to use. But here's that one clip that goes into that bottom white piece. So you're just going to snap it down in there, but check to make sure that that piece is actually snapped down in there so you don't get another error of it popping off and getting stuck inside or causing a jam. So here you are, just going to make sure those all fit back, and happy printing!